Hey guys, another video here. Today we got, we got the patch notes yesterday. Huge. By the way, if you haven't seen them yet, I'll post a link in the video description. Check those out. It's a huge league. But yeah, so we got Animate Guardian. Big change here. They now retain their items on death. So I don't know if that's going to stay as is. If it is, then I think most builds will be using Animate Guardian. It's just that strong. If they don't change that, this video is still valid because we got these new companions called mercenaries, and you can actually equip even more gear on the mercenaries, and they get their own skills. Not sure how hard it'll be to keep them alive. Probably harder than the Animate Guardian, but yeah, I guess we'll see. So in this video, I have not all the gear that you can equip on these guys, but most of the good options are going to be in this POB. If I miss anything, leave a comment. But we got a few setups. You can go over to item sets, item sets. You can see, can add a bunch more, but this is what I got right now. And I'll update the POB as I think of more stuff. But here's your budget Animate Guardian setup. I don't want to go too in depth on all the different items and all the stats they're giving you. But all this gear is going to be pretty cheap, I think, throughout the league. Maybe a bit like too expensive at the start, but once people are in maps and farming a little bit, this stuff's going to get real cheap. So this one is just like some damage buffs for you, some more damage buffs for you, tankiness for the Animate Guardian. These are just example gloves with all the different curse on hits you can get. For Hands of the High Templar, I think you can get up to 4 corruptions, implicits, maybe 5, I forget. But yeah, these are actually really good gloves in general for Animate Guardian because they have the increased life and the res, and then you can get multiple corruption implicits. And then these might be the most expensive piece on the budget Animate Guardian. Get an additional curse, which is pretty good. You can always just go for like rare boots or Legacy of Fury. Those things shouldn't be too expensive after a while. But yeah, there's your budget setup for an Animate Guardian. It's going to give you a lot of buffs. This is just basic stuff, mostly just increases in damage. You can actually input these into POB. I haven't done it myself yet, but you can have them powering up your character if you export as support. I don't know how to use it yet, so I'll figure that out later. But let's move on. Another setup, we got this is like the big money setup for Animate Guardian. These Kingmakers are going to be real expensive, but it's giving you a lot. Like a lot. And this helmet right here is probably the best helmet for keeping your Animate Guardian alive. But you will need to allocate Grave Intentions somehow on the passive tree. This converts, or it doesn't convert, it gives your minions energy shield based on their life. And so the Animate Guardian has like, I think it's over 100k life. So it's getting 20% of that as energy shield, and then you regenerate life per second. for each 500 maximum energy shield. So it's getting like all of its life per second with those two things. And then we got the Garb of Ephemeral. This thing's really, really strong too. It's got like the Juggernaut Ascendancy node on there. And nearby enemies can't deal crits. Pretty crazy. All this stuff's going to be pretty expensive. Like Divines, I think. So, with the changes for Animate Guardian, you're not losing Divines every time it dies. So it's a really big change. But yeah, so that's the big money setup. Getting a ridiculous amount of power from your Animate Guardian, if you can get all that. Guess I'll go into some of the more interesting applications of Animate Guardian. This one's called Explode. So you're stacking a bunch of area of effect, and then you get some sort of explode, like Impulsa or the Explode chest. And then you need these Gravebind gloves. Nearby enemies killed by anyone count as being killed by you. So every time you kill something, it's going to be counted as killed by the Animate Guardian. And the explosions, will proc. And because it has so much AoE, it's pretty sweet. You will need specific skill setups, though, for the Impulsa. If you're using the Explode chest, you won't need these, but if you're using an Impulsa, you'll either need the Skitterbots, increased AoE is nice, to apply shock, or something like this. But this will be less effective depending on what build you're doing. If you have a lot of like lightning damage increases, and this is pretty good. But yeah, this is a cool application of Animate Guardian. And then the last one for now is this Curse Bot. The only item you really need is this helmet. Yeah, so this helmet curses enemies which hit you with a random hex, ignoring the curse limit. It also triggers shocked ground when hit, so it's a pretty nice combo. But yeah, you can get like every curse. I'm not sure how long they last. There might be a way to increase the duration, maybe or maybe not. But for the curse bot one, you're mostly just making it tanky and fast, so it's getting hit a lot. Meat Shield gives it taunt as well, so it's going to be hitting a lot of people and taunting them. Melee Splash, I think Melee Splash and Ancestral Call work for Animate Guardian. But yeah, so those are the item sets I got and the skills I got for Animate Guardian. Actually, here's all the possible like viable supports for Animate Guardian. Can go through here if you wanted to cook something up yourself. And then there's also the ability to do Guardian's Blessing. You will need to get a bunch of regeneration before you use this one for the Animate Guardian, but it's a free aura for you if you do use that. But yeah, moving on to the Mercenaries. So they can equip, I think, or let me check real quick. Okay, so you can see here Mercenary and all the different pieces of gear you can equip. So you can actually have rings, amulet, and belt as well for the Mercenaries. So that's going to open up a bunch of other options. So I got I don't have rings in here. Original Sin, it's a possibility. Enemy chaos resistance is 0, but it's a mirror, so good luck with that one. But yeah, Zoph's Heart, pretty pretty manageable to get. Nearby enemies covered in ash. If you're a fire damage build, that's going to be big. All those RF enjoyers out there. And then here's another really big one. Cam's binding. Nearby enemies convert 25% of their physical damage to fire. That's pretty huge. Probably everyone will put this on their mercenary if they can, because physical damage is so hard to mitigate. So yeah, and then there's a few other options. Bear's Girdle. Nearby enemies are crushed. I'm not sure how the rage works for the mercenaries. I'm assuming some of them are going to have a way to gain rage. And then nearby enemies are intimidated with Belt of the Deceiver. But yeah, there's going to be a ton more options out there that people are going to find. I'll keep trying to add to this POB as I find stuff or other people find stuff. So yeah, that's I think that's about all I got for now. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment, some feedback if you guys think of anything else I missed or have any ideas. And see you next time.